Good morning, everyone, or good evening, whichever time you're tuning in. Today's class is a Yin Yoga class, which targets our fascia in the body, which helps to bring about joint health. It's the connective tissue between the joints and the bones, and sometimes that can get really tight. So we're going to target that. You probably heard of fascia work before, and if you haven't, that's basically what that means, and that's what Yin Yoga helps to target. It will help to improve your joint health, increase flexibility, mobility, better organ function. It brings stillness to the mind because it's very relaxed. We're going to hold the poses for at least 90 seconds. In order for the fascia to release, it has to be anywhere from a minute and a half to 3 minute holds at least, minimum. And so it helps to also improve emotional healing, because when your body's hurting, sometimes you can attach emotions to the body hurts too. So when we're releasing our body's tightness in areas, it can also bring about an emotional release. It of course helps digestion. So today we're going to target the chest, hip openers, the IT band, and the full leg. We're just going to work on a little bit of the body, not the whole body today. We're going to start out with just some warm-ups here, because we don't want to just get down and get into some of these stretches there, because they can be deep. What I want you to keep in mind is to not overstretch, and I hope you brought your props, which you need a strap, blankets, a bolster, your blocks to use so that you can be in the poses comfortably. And if you don't, you can improvise with pillows, a soft cloth like that ties a rope for your strap, or a belt, or a tie. I guess you could use a tie if they're long enough. And your eye mask for Shavasana, of course, because that definitely helps bring stillness of the mind and lets the body start relaxing. Anytime you put pressure over the eye area, it calms your mind down. And I think I've explained everything well. Of course, if you feel uncomfortable in a pose, that's okay. If you feel pain in a pose, back off and adjust your props so that you're not feeling pain, just because we don't want anyone to feel pain. That defeats the purpose, of course. And you're probably overstretching if you're feeling pain. You want to feel maybe a slight discomfort where you know that your muscles and your fascia is being stretched and elongated, but not to the point where you're like, oh, this really hurts. Don't ever do anything that really hurts. So we're going to start with this, sitting up, just to warm up. So let's start with just some easy side stretches. And we're going to not hold these poses in our warm-ups as long as we will hold the poses once we get on the mat. But we will hold them a little bit longer than we normally do for stretching. So here we go. We're going to inhale up and exhale. Let's do that 2 more times just to get started. Exhale through your mouth. Do a real good inhale last time. Exhale. And I thought we would begin with, it's called ocean breath. And how you do ocean breath is you make a sound in the back of your throat. I will demonstrate. I don't know if you can hear that. It almost sounds like Darth Vader maybe, but you will feel the tightening in the back of your throat as you're kind of tightening the airway. So the air is having to kind of push out and in, and it makes kind of like an ocean sound. So we will do that, breathing in, inhaling to the count of 5, hold for 1, and exhale for the count of 5. This is all through the nose. Keep your mouth closed. And I will just count in my head. And then when it's time to hold, I'll just say hold. And then exhale to the count of 5. Here we go. Begin. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Okay, let's just roll our shoulders back 3 times in case you tensed up through your neck and shoulders through the breathing. I hope that was understandable. You might not be able to hear me breathing my ocean breath, but I hope that you are breathing your ocean breath. It was hard to decide how to do it and count at the same time. So here we go. We're going to start with just an easy twist. So we're going to inhale and exhale as we twist to the right side, and then just breathe normally once you get here. And we're going to hold it for about 3 breaths. On your next exhale, return to center. And make sure that you're sitting up nice and straight. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see how the twist looks from the side. Nice straight back, head over shoulders, and nice straight spine. So inhale, exhale, and twist. I'm just going to hold, you can hold the back of your chair. I'm going to hold the side of mine with my left hand. My right arm is on my left thigh. Just breathe normally. On your next exhale, return to center. Very good. We're going to start with a side stretch. So here we go. Inhale. Exhale over to the side. And again, we're going to hold it for about 3 breaths. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. And 3 breaths is about 15 seconds if you're just breathing normally. Try to make them nice, deep belly breaths, though. Inhale out. And we're going to widen our legs and exhale over. You can just let your arms hang. I like to pull my elbows. That pulls a little bit of weight so that it sometimes helps to get just a micro millimeter further down. Don't overdo it again. Inhale up. And that was one that's really great for digestion. Anytime you're bending over, you're massaging your internal organs there. And we're going to warm the legs up just a little bit. So let's inhale the knee up and out and hold it. This helps to open up the hip joint, which we're going to be working on that. On your next exhale, return that to center. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, open. I feel really tight. We're going to do a really good stretch for the inner groin when we get on the mat. So if you have tight inside legs, this will help to do that, which is great for the hip flexor, the hip joint. On your next exhale, return to center. And we're going to inhale the legs straight out just for a little warm-up hamstring. Because we're going to work on the hamstrings. We're going to work on all of the leg. Sit up nice and straight. Feel that stretch. Tighten your legs. Your foot should be flexed, so toes are pointing toward the ceiling. On your next exhale, lower that. Inhale the left leg up. Really tighten that so you feel that nice hamstring stretch. Toes are towards the ceiling. Just breathing good. Try to keep your abs tight, keep your legs tight. We're using some strengthening here. Next exhale, lower. Inhale the arms up, out. And exhale and do some airplanes just to warm up those shoulders. And reverse. Little bitty airplanes. Ooh. Should feel really good. I'm starting to feel really nice and awake. My body is starting to like, oh yeah, we're doing stuff. Exhale the arms down. And we're going to do a little bit of neck stretch. So we're just going to take the right ear and lay it to the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale over and then just hold it. This is a great one to do just to get the neck moving in a safe way. I don't know why anyone would try to stretch this further down. You can take your right hand and just gently lay it on your head, which gives it a little bit of weight, but whatever you do, do not push it. You don't want to overstretch the neck muscle. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Again with the arm or without the arm, or the hand on the head. Release and inhale up. And then chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. And just hold it. On your next exhale, gently move the chin towards the right shoulder. And then back to the center towards the left. And we're going to do this 3 times. To the right, 2, center, left, the right 3, center to the left. And you notice we're just holding it briefly at that further stretch. And then back to the center. Raise your head up nice and slow. If you want, you can take and massage, use both hands to kind of massage that neck. Because we've done a nice long stretch in it. This is a great tool for if you've been driving for a while, working at your computer, or if you're a dentist doing dental work. Maybe after each person, just go and do a little neck roll and massage. Or if you do a lot of typing. And let's do 3 shoulder rolls. Now we're going to start our Yin Yoga. I've never really done a class on Yin Yoga, but I thought, oh, I forgot to tell you the name of my class today. It's Intention. I thought with a name called Intention that we should do poses with an intent, which when you're doing Yin Yoga, you do have a intent, as opposed to if you're doing a flowing type yoga, you have intent, but it's different because you're in the movement. But with intent, we're going to focus on staying in a certain pose. That's the intention here. I'm going to be very intent on that. I'm going to take my boot off because I'm not going to stand up during this. It's very relaxing. This is a great one. I did it last night in the bed, and I slept really, really good. So if you can remember some of these moves when you get in your bed at night and just go through a few of them, you might be surprised at how well that you might rest. I was a little bit surprised. And I want to get my clocks where I can see them well so I can get our timing. I feel like a reptile because I have to slither around without my boot on. Okay, you get your strap handy, and if you want to have your loop and your strap, that's always good for the kind of poses that we're going to be doing today. I think I'll make mine just a little bit smaller. Here we go. Our first one is reclining leg stretch. Well, let's meet in restorative rest pose first and just acclimate to laying down. Just see what it feels like to press the lower back into the mat. Really get acclimated to laying nice and flat. So we're going to have our legs straight, or you can have one leg out flat. You take your choice. I think I'm going to have mine bent because I can keep my back on the mat flatter with it bent. We're going to take and put the strap around our right foot. And hold it with our right hand. I kind of like have it where I can hold it with this loop. So that's where you need to adjust your loop according to where your hand can reach. And your straight leg may be out like this, depending on your hamstrings and how tight they are. So our foot is flexed, so the toes are now pointing toward your wall. not up towards the ceiling, so that your foot is flat. And we're just going to find your perfect hamstring stretch and just hold it right here, wherever that may be. Get my clock where I can see it really good. I think you'll see when you've got a pose you're holding, think about all of the sensations that you're feeling and where they're at, and that will tell you your tightest spots. We haven't made it to a minute yet. We're almost there. And then we'll just have another 30 seconds. And as you hold it, you may feel one place intensify. Right now, I'm feeling this is intensifying in my hamstrings. So I guess it's finally pulling to that stretch. Right in the middle of my hamstring. And if you want, you can take your hand and kind of massage a sore spot if you want to. Feels good. Oh, it's being stretched, lengthened. And bend your knee and release the right foot down. You might want to take it all the way down and maybe give the leg a little shake. And I'm going to bring my knee back up. Of course, you can keep yours straight. I have a little bit of the curvature of the low back, so it's better for me to keep my knee bent so I can keep my back pressed into the mat. And that is important for your back health. So let's, which I already did it now, put your strap around your left foot, and it's best to keep it up more towards the top of your foot. And then get it to your full stretch, which wherever that is, could be here. If you're feeling a nice hamstring stretch here, stay there. If you can bring it up further, stay there. If you need to even bend that knee a little bit because maybe you're super tight, then go ahead and do that. Find your sweet spot, and that's mine right there. And we're going to start our timing. And just hang out. I think I'll use my little neck support since I have to look at the clock. So I don't undo all I've done on my neck stretches. Oh yeah, that's much better. Let's see that. Takes the pain out of my neck. And again, concentrate. If you want to close your eyes and just do some nice deep belly breaths, you can place your opposite hand on your belly and feel that rise from the bottom of your belly, your lower abdomen. That means that you're really inflating the lungs and getting down into a deep breath. And think about where does this side feel. One side would usually be crankier than the other. This one I'm feeling down into my calf. Just think about how You're really giving your fascia a nice release here. It's a deep, fascia is deep into the tissue. And bend your knees slowly. And release the left leg down. And you can stretch it out. That feels good. And give it a little shake. Our next pose is going to focus on, it's called a reclining side leg stretch. And we're going to use our strap again. So I'm going to go through the instructions first. You're going to bring your right leg straight up again. And the left leg, we do want to put the left leg down this time. Or you can keep it up on this one. It's the next one that when we do the crossover stretch. And you're going to hold your stretch wherever it is, remember. And this time we're going to lean it over to the right. And this is where your bolster or your block, wherever you're comfortable getting your leg over to, it's going to come over to the right and just rest right there. So your hip will come up a little bit. Try not to roll completely over because we're trying to do this nice. Actually, it's best if you keep your hip up. So in order for me to keep my hip flat, I'm going to use a bolster and a block to bring our leg over straight and rest it here. That feels pretty good. So kind of work with that. See where is your best place. I think I can take this off. Of getting your right leg out to the side. And your foot is flexed, so it's going to be pointing towards the wall. It's important to keep the foot flexed. And you should feel a really nice stretch through your groin and inner leg. Okay, ready? Here we go. Get ready for the count. So leg up, just like we had in leg stretch 1. And slowly ease it over to rest on a bolster, pillows. Or if you just want to hold it with the strap, you can do that. I don't really recommend it. And we've started our count. We're 5 seconds in. And I'm going to lower my leg because when I lower it, I feel a really nice stretch through that groin in a different place. And we've got 30 seconds. The only thing about Yin Yoga is I need a big timer. So I have to look at this clock here. Or I need someone holding up a flashcard and going 5 seconds left or something. There, we've reached 1 minute. It's amazing how long time feels when you are in one of these poses. Seems like you've been here forever sometimes, but we're just doing 1.5 minutes. And the best benefit would be if we did 2 or 3 minutes. 3 minutes would really be good. So if you're practicing at night, you can hold yours for 3 minutes if you want. I hope it makes my leg grow longer. I have short legs. And Slowly bring the right leg up. Release the strap in the knee and let that right leg go down to the floor and give it a shake or two. And here we go. Now, for the left leg. So I'm going to roll my bolster over this way so it's handy. Or you could stack up pillows, or if you're super flexible, you might go all the way down to the block. If you're going down to the floor, you're probably letting your hip come up off of the mat too much. So let's get the strap around our left foot. And you can adjust how far out your bolster is. The further out, the further down your leg's going to go. So let's do an adjustment before we start. I think I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. So find your place of side leg stretch. And when you're doing a side leg stretch, try to get it out to the side as much as possible, of course, depending on your flexibility. But even with this one, if you are not very flexible through your inner thigh, your bolster can be way up close to your leg, and as long as you're feeling a little bit of a stretch through that inner leg and the groin, that's fine. So I'm going to push mine back out because I know mine's a little further out. I'm just giving you some tips on where to find it. Hopefully you found it because we're going to begin. So inhale and exhale the left leg out to the side. Try to keep it out to the side, not pointing down. Your toes are pointing toward the wall behind you. We've got 5 seconds in. Ooh, this feels really stretchy over here. I think this side might be a little tighter than the inner thigh. Maybe from carrying that boot around all the time. I'm probably not in my stretches when I stand up to do a groin stretch. Not going as far because of that too. I'm going to have a lot of work to do when I get out of that. Maybe I think in a couple of weeks I come out. We've almost reached a minute. Keep the pose. There's 1 minute. We have 30 seconds left. Remember your deep breathing. That helps with focus of the pose, your intention. What is your intention? Your intention should be to lengthen and elongate your muscles and gently massage your fascia. We're working on our joint lubrication. This really opens the joints up this way. And gently exhale the left leg up. Bend the knee and slowly lower the left leg down. Give it a shake. Maybe balance both legs, which is good. And then here we go to bolster back. No. I'm going to use a block for the next one. So I'm going to show it to you first so you can adjust so that when we start the pose for timing, you will know exactly where you need to be in the pose. And this is called a side leg stretch over. So this one, it is best to keep the left leg flat, and your right arm is going to go out to the right side, and your left, hold on. Well, we can do this one too. I've got another one I want to do also. So this one is with a bolster or a block, depending on your flexibility. The block will be for the next pose. So I've got the my right leg in the thing. I'm going to hold it with my left hand. My right arm is out to the right side. Then I'm going to bring the right leg over to the left. So the hips are going to roll up and over. My right hip is completely off of the mat, and my left hip is partially rolled over to the side. So it's not flat on the mat either. And then my head turns to the right. And this is where you're going to hold this pose. You should feel a really nice pull through that sciatic. I'm going to have to push mine out a little further. The glutes. And again, your foot is always flexed during these stretches. And so let's go ahead. You should have figured out where your stretch is going to be held at. And then we will start the timing. So inhale. So you have that nice straight leg. And as you exhale, it's going to fall over to the left side and land on where it needs to land. For this is a good glute, low back. Then turn your head to the right and your arm is out straight in a T. Whew, I really feel it through the glute here. This is where I have my trouble, is on the right glute because of lower back problems. We've got about 30 seconds in, so a minute left. You can just try and relax, close your eyes, feel the stretch. Think about your intention again and how much that you are opening up your joints for joint health and lubrication, letting the fascia relax. The fascia is what holds the muscles and the tissue around the joints and the bones. So if that gets really tight, you can imagine everything else gets tight. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't come out fast. Bend your knee and lift the right leg up. It's important to come out of these nice and slow. Take your strap off as you bend your knee and scoop your right leg down. Now we're going to go to the left crossover. So I'm going to, and again, find your place before we start the counting. And you hold the strap with the opposite hand. So left foot, right hand. And you can see how my hip rolls up and over. And this side, I don't have that tightness in my glutes. So I feel it's a little bit more flexible. I can bring my right leg up a little further. And this is where I'm going to be. And then the left hand will be out, which I can't straighten that arm yet. And my head is facing to the left. So let's begin together. That was just to demonstrate. It's very important to find your place before we start our counting. So inhale, exhale, right leg over, head to the left, and I'm beginning the timing. My right leg is straight. You can close your eyes, relax into the pose. You've got 30 seconds. It's also a good stretch for the neck, this one too. It twists the upper body, which that's part of the digestive poses that we're doing. And there's 1 minute. Just feel my spine is actually making some adjustments, so I feel that I'm really getting those joints to relax. Remember your nice deep breathing, your belly breaths. Oh yeah. Now, where are you feeling it now? I'm starting to feel different areas. I feel some behind my knee on this one. So I think I might give my knee a little bit of a bend. It might have been too tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your head come back to the right. Bend your left leg. Bring it up. Undo your strap. Place the left foot on the mat and slowly lower down. Let's just give our body a little, I don't know, I call it like a puppy back rub. You know how puppies, they do this, going to the left, going to the right. Dog, he does this. I call him Snoopy Dog when he does that. Feels good. And now for the next one, we're going to, you can put your strap away. That's why I wanted to finish that one before we went to this one, because we don't need the strap for this. You're going to bring the left leg up, or both knees bent. Bring the right leg over the left, and then pull the left leg up. And we're going to let the right foot fall down onto a block, or if you need something higher, or bring it all the way over to the ground. And then we're going to stretch our right arm out and turn our head to the right. And this is a nice pull through the hip and getting into some of the lower back. Don't pull too much. So find your spot, and then we will begin together. So right leg over left. Bring the left foot up, and both feet are flexed, so both feet are to the ceiling. And then we're going to just roll over. I think I will use the block because I don't want to stress my low back too much. And just roll that over. And then your left foot can go down on the mat. And my left leg is actually kind of pushing my right leg to keep it so it doesn't like go this way, and then you're not getting any stretch. And if this is a stretch for you, then do where your stretch is. So I'm actually pushing and putting pressure on right above the ankle with my right above the knee, not on the knee. And then looking to the left. You should feel a nice stretch that way. And also, since I was talking, that's probably 15 seconds. Maybe you were already in your pose. I was trying to give a little bit more direction so that you can get the full benefit. Because if you're not keeping this leg tight against the left leg tight against the right ankle, you're going to lose some of that nice stretch. And I feel a good stretch. It's kind of like on the side of my leg here. So that's part of that hip flexor. Some of the IT band. This is an IT band stretch. A lot of people get really tight IT bands. Especially runners. This is a good one for runners. And we've got a minute. So we have, actually that was a minute 15. So we have 15 seconds left. Ooh, I'm starting to really feel it through there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And gently relax the pressure of the left leg. Roll back up. Lower the left leg and uncross the right. And let's do a few little windshield wipers. Just stretch that. It feels really nice. Now, for the other side, and then we're almost done with class. Get my block handy. And find your spot for the left foot to go down. So I'm going to cross my left leg over the right, bring it up. And when I bring it up, I feel that nice stretch. And that's where you want to keep that pressure, is in this position. Feel where you feel that nice stretch there. And then just roll over into that stretch, keeping the pressure there. And I've got my foot resting on a block. My left hand goes out, and I'm turning to the side. So I've started the count. Put it up here where I can see it better. Well, there's a glare. There we go. Remember to keep the pressure there. Keep your breathing. And I feel it from my glute up the side of my leg. This is that nice IT band stretch. So if you're a runner, you may not be as flexible on this, but it's important for you to keep that IT band stretched out so you can run well. We're almost to a minute. There's a minute, so 30 seconds left. Oh yeah, we're really starting to feel that. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I put this on silent, but there's some people that can get through, which is my daughter. Tell Kara I'm teaching my class and I can't talk. Text her. Text Kara that I'm teaching my class. And release the pressure of the left leg. bring them both up together. Place the right leg on the mat. Bring the left leg on the mat. And let's do knee circles this time. I'm just going knee circles in. I guess it's more like opening up that hip. And then reverse. How did that intention feel? And let's move around. I'm going to rotate my ankles and my wrist. Spread my toes. Get some toe movement in there. Spread my fingers. Place both feet on the mat and lower that down. And we're going to do a crescent pose, which I do a light crescent pose or banana asana. So we don't usually hold it as long as we do, but let's get set up for that. So we're going to bring our knees up, take our hips just a little bit to the right, like an inch, inch and a half. Lower the legs down. And we're going to bring the torso to the left and bring the left leg to the left and the right leg to the left. If you want to cross that over and anchor it, that helps to provide a little bit more stability. And then we're going to, for this one, we're going to take our elbows and hold it in our hands and bring that overhead instead of having them stretched out. And we're just going to hold it here. Both hips should be on the mat. If you're having to raise your hips up, then you have to put your legs or your torso over too far. And that would put your back at risk. So make sure that you're just bending a nice side stretch. You're looking like a C curve. And there's a minute, 30 more seconds. It feels kind of strange staying in banana asana for longer than just a couple of breaths, but it's great. We're lengthening our spine. Getting flexibility in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and uncross the right leg. Bring it to center. Let the left leg come to center. Get your torso to center. Release your arms. Feet up and return your hips to center. Now let's just take and hold the back of our thighs and do a little low back roll. Just to roll that out. Feels really good. And then feet back down to the mat. Raise the hips up for about an inch over to the left. Straighten your legs out. Bring your torso to the right. Bring your right leg to the right. And your left leg follows. Again, I'm going to hold my elbows. I'm going to switch which elbow is on top. And place that overhead. And, I better move this so I can see it. And we'll begin our minute and a half in crescent or banana asana pose here. And again, this is a great one for low back health, spine flexibility. It's also good for digestion. And maybe help to get your waistline trimmed down. And of course, it's a great stress reliever. Any yin pose usually is. There's a minute. Got 30 seconds left. This feels really good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, we come out very slowly. We're going to let the left foot uncross, come to center, bring the right foot to center, bring the torso to center, release the arms and bring the feet up, and return the hips to center so that you're nice and straight. And let's do a little rock and roll, which is so a good one for spine flexibility, just rocking and rolling. We're not going to do around the clock because I don't think that my arm is ready for that. And bring that to stillness and get ready for Shavasana. Very nice, mellow, easy class. If you want to try that ocean breath as you begin Shavasana, that would be good. I'm going to get my socks on. I like how my feet warm in Shavasana, and I'm going to bring my bolster to come up underneath my knees. And I'm going to put on my t-shirt because in Shavasana I start to really cool down. This is a shirt from one of my favorite runs I did with Shireen. It was out of Excelsior Springs and it was called Waterfest. And that was my favorite run that I did with her. So I'm going to cover up too. It's a little chilly in the house because it's warmer outside, so of course the heat isn't coming on, which is great. Save some on our bill maybe. And I'm going to get into my little cocoon, get my feet covered, and then I will meet you back here in about 10 minutes. You can stay in Shavasana, but if you're ready, you can go ahead and start taking last minute stretch, maybe even a nice yawn, a few movements, and then roll over onto your right side and stay in that position for a few seconds. Just thinking of the benefits that you have gleaned from your intention of your yoga class today. And when you're feeling ready, take your left hand and push yourself up with your head coming up last in a nice slow position. And I'm going to put my boot on, which is going to make noises. So if you're staying in Shavasana, I apologize that I can't hobble around without it on. I'm going to check out what intention is, and a namaste to all. I forgot to bring my reading glasses in, but I can read it, I think. So, intention. Keep your sight on your goal. Direct your energy and attention to who you want to be and where you want to go. Stay aligned and focused. And then I found this good quote, which I can't read who wrote it now because it's too small. Inspire flows where intention goes. So I felt that doing the yoga poses in a yin fashion, concentrating on our plantar, on our fascia, was a great class targeting intention. I'll open up my Heart Talk book. Ooh, it's in big letters. That means it's very important. Not every ground is a battleground. Oh, I think that goes very well with intention, because if you feel that you're in a battle getting into the pose, then you're overdoing it. So just keep that in mind. And let's rub our hands together to increase the energy. And bring that into heart center. And I bow in honor of you and the light in you, and ask that you bow in honor to others and the light in them. And think about what your intention is for today or tomorrow, and stay focused. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for this class. I hope you enjoyed the intention behind it. Ta-ta for now. See you next week.